And by the way, we're going to be making those clean buses here in America, creating good-paying jobs, all the while by promoting clean air and better health outcomes for our kids. It is a win-win-win. This bill has always meant a lot to me, and I know it does as well for Vice President Harris. She actually helped lead the charge when she was in the Senate. This was a common sense investment that we both understood everyone should be able to get behind. And together, we got this passed into the bipartisan infrastructure law. And by the way, I worked to make sure that these resources would get to kids from school districts that have the least resources to begin with, because that is an extremely important part of this. But we all know we still have a lot more to do to create a cleaner future and a sustainable zero-emission economy. The Inflation Reduction Act is really going to do a lot to help supercharge a clean energy economy right here in Washington State while lowering everyday energy costs. In that Inflation Reduction Act, we even established a new federal program to help electrify heavy-duty commercial vehicles as well. Because, like I said, when we think about how we shift to a clean energy economy, that transition has to happen economy-wide, and this is a great step that helps get us there. That legislation, along with the bipartisan infrastructure law, is a huge win for us here in Washington State, where we are already leading the nation in building a clean energy economy. So the bottom line is this: Democrats, with a razor-thin majority, have been focused on good-paying jobs and lower costs, and we recognize not just the challenges of the climate crisis, and there are challenges, ask anybody who's been in our region over the past few weeks with the smoke we've been dealing with, but also the major opportunities that climate action provides for our communities and economy. This is an exciting day. I'm so glad all of you could join us. Thank you.
Please welcome Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Michael Regan.
Good morning, everyone. Such an honor to be here with you all, and I have to say that it's a great honor to be here with Vice President Harris. Vice President Harris has fought for cleaner and more equitable transportation throughout her career, and as always, we are so grateful for her leadership. Thank you, Madam Vice President, for all that you do to improve people's lives all across the country. Yes. Senator Murray, it's great to be with you. Thank you for your wonderful leadership, and thank you for helping us get this historic funding for these school buses. Governor Inslee, it's good to be with you in the great state of Washington. Thank you for your leadership on all things climate, sir. Really appreciate it. And Mayor Harrell, thank you for hosting us here in beautiful Seattle. You know, one of the most rewarding parts about my job is the opportunity to meet young people and children all across the country, to hear about their hopes and their aspirations. The passion that they have is contagious. And when I think about the work that we do at EPA and the decisions that we make every single day, I think about the generations to come. Improving the lives of children and young people all across this country is near and dear to EPA's mission. But it's very personal to me, especially as the father of my 9-year-old son, Matthew. Every day, millions of our children ride to school, an experience that for many in this country is a quintessential part of being a kid in America. But traditional school buses that transport our children rely on internal combustion engines that emit pollution in the air. Not only are these pollutants harmful to the environment, but they're also harmful to people's health, to the children who ride the bus, to the bus drivers responsible for transporting our precious cargo, and to folks in surrounding neighborhoods and communities. That's why I'm so grateful to President Biden and Vice President Harris, along with our partners in Congress, who secured the historic bipartisan infrastructure law, forever transforming how kids get to and from school. Back in May, EPA announced $500 million in available rebate funding to upgrade school bus fleets all across the country. The application period closed in school districts all across the country, and let's just say we received an outstanding response, including our low-income communities, our tribal communities, and territories seeking to purchase electric and low-emission school buses. Now, given that overwhelming response to the $500 million that we put out there, we had to double the amount of funding that we were making available to schools all across the country. That's close to $1 billion, billion with a B, $1 billion that we're going to reward to eligible school districts all across the country. Listen, we expect to distribute resources to school districts in all 50 states and Washington, D.C., along with several federally recognized tribes and U.S. territories. And today we couldn't be more excited to announce that 4 school districts right here in the state of Washington were selected as part of EPA's fiscal year 2022 Clean School Bus program. So listen, folks, this is only the beginning of the work that we will do together to build a healthier, cleaner future for all. We're going to launch the next round of school bus grants in the coming months, and EPA will make available another $1 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law for school buses for the year 2023. Absolutely. We're also going to ensure that the districts have the support that they need by leveraging technical assistance from the Departments of Energy and Transportation. Folks, I'm so optimistic about what's ahead. Cleaner air for our children to breathe, good paying jobs in American manufacturing all across this country, and cleaner air for everyone. Mark my words, zero emission school buses can be and will be the American standard. It's time for all of us to hit the accelerator, so let's go.
Please welcome South Whitby High School student Audrey Gamerick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Audrey Gamerick, a junior at South Whitby High School on Whidbey Island. Words cannot express my gratitude to have the opportunity to gather alongside Vice President Harris and U.S. Environmental Protection Administrator Regan in my home state, Washington. I am ecstatic to hear the recent news that my district, South Whidbey School District, was granted our very own electric school bus through the bipartisan infrastructure law, and I hope this is the first of many. Last spring, I worked with members of a student-led nonprofit organization, United Student Leaders, to encourage our school to apply for this rebate through the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. As a nonprofit organization, United Student Leaders strives towards cultivating a sustainable future through youth-advocated climate action, including organizing Fridays for Future school walkouts and working with leaders to treat the climate crisis with the urgency it demands. And I believe the Clean School Bus program runs parallel with this goal. As a small rural island school district, we rely heavily on our yellow buses to commute us across our island to school. With bias, I have to say we might have the most beautiful bus rides in the nation. Students, however, have been directly impacted by the environmental deterioration and health concerns caused by the air pollution caused by these diesel-guzzling buses. Transitioning from fossil-fueled buses to clean energy is a step in the right direction towards ensuring a prosperous future for younger generations. But it cannot be our last. Sustainable practices such as the Clean School Bus program in American schools set a standard of climate-centered action to be mirrored throughout society. Education is at the root of systemic change. What we implement, demonstrate, and teach in our schools today will be reflected in the future of this country. I am now honored to welcome a person who has paved the way for women like me, Vice President Harris.
Who are here and the youngish leaders. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. I'm here because of you, by the way. I'm here because of all of our young leaders who are here. It is you who has motivated the work that we are doing that is demonstrated by these beautiful yellow school buses. And so I'm just so happy to be with all of you, and to the governor, the senator, our administrator, Regan, to all of you, thank you for your leadership. Mayor, thank you for the warm welcome. So here's the thing. Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right? Just, there's something about the, and most of us, many of us went to school on the yellow school bus, right? And it's part of our experience growing up. It's part of a nostalgia and a memory of the excitement and joy of going to school, to be with your favorite teacher, to be with your best friends, and to learn. The school bus takes us there. And in America today, 25 million children a day go to school on the yellow school bus. 25 million children a day. And today, 95% of our school buses are fueled with diesel fuel, which contributes to very serious conditions that are about health and about the ability to learn. So when I think about what the experience should be for our children of going to school on the school bus, I think about the fact that it should be about maximizing that experience for them, understanding that this bus symbolizes so much about our collective investment in our future. Because, of course, it is about our investment in our children, in their health, and in their education. And in that way, our electric school bus program really does represent an intersection of all those points, on top of the importance of investing in domestic manufacturing. We all know during the height of the pandemic, we saw what it means when we don't have domestic manufacturing around the things that we need every day. It slows us down. We know that domestic manufacturing means that we can create jobs right here in the United States. And that by creating these jobs, because we are creating a new industry, we must also then think about what the jobs require, which is highly skilled labor, and what then that means in terms of investing in apprenticeship programs, investing in training programs to build the skills in America's workforce to do the work of growing this new industry, which is totally directed at benefiting our children. Those are the intersections. So that's why I'm so excited about these electric school buses. And when I think about what we have been able to do through the infrastructure law, what it means is that we have now invested, and that's the announcement today, $5 billion over the next 5 years. What we are doing today is the first of those $1 billion, $1 billion, through grant proposals from the 50 states, distributing to the 50 states an investment for their ability, starting the next school year, to roll these buses out, to pick up our kids and take them to school. That's our announcement today. And these investments are going to go everywhere that our school buses go. It's going to be in urban communities. It's going to be in rural communities, tribal communities. It will be in all 50 states. And what it will also be is about understanding that when we think about our children right now, they have so much capacity. But when we think about how many of us, for example, have had to go to the emergency room because our child has asthma, right? How many of us have had to deal with the fact that when our children are exposed to pollutants, what that means in terms of their respiratory status, not to mention illness. These are some of the issues that we are going to address, which is not only about our children, but about our parents and what you must do to take care of your children on a daily basis. We are thinking about this in terms of yellow school buses being the largest form of mass transit in our country. Think about that. And we are thinking about it in terms of creating healthy learning environments for our children. So all of that is at play with what we are doing today. And I met with some of our young leaders this morning on our way here. And one of them said to me, I said, well, what is today about? And they said, saving our planet. Saving our planet. So the youngest of our children understand not only their power, but the importance to them of saving our planet. And I guess that's what brings it home in terms of the concluding point. We owe it to our children to right now take these issues very seriously. The clock is ticking loudly. We are witnessing around our country and around the world the effects of extreme climate. There is a direct correlation that, thankfully, as we progress as a nation, is not being debated, which is the correlation between all of that and human behaviors. And so what we are announcing today, and what we are as a community of friends and parents and leaders, what we are announcing today is a step forward in our nation's commitment to be a leader on these issues, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, to invest in our economy, to invest in job creation, to invest in building the skills of America's workforce, all with, as that young leader this morning said to me, a goal of not only saving our children, but for them, saving our planet. I thank you all very much.